What's going on, everybody? J-How here, and in this video I'm going to cover my top 10 tips going into patch 2.4 and season 5. Every new season and every new patch, I get a lot of the same questions. I'm going to answer a few of those ahead of time so you can be fully prepared, as well as bring up some information you'll want to know going into patch 2.4. Without further ado, let's get into the top 10. My number 10 tip is simply prepare yourself. With new content, including new areas and new zones, you'll be getting a lot of new content in the form of new playable areas and several other key elements. Now, there's a lot of information that you can find already up on the Diablo 3 website. There's some really good videos, as well as some other information that you'll find strictly there, which will cover the majority of it. A lot of good stuff there. Also is the new set dungeons. Now, I've already made a video covering this, and you can check this out here. So if you're looking to go in and accomplish those tasks, simply follow this video, figure out where to go, and be on the lookout for future guides on how to complete each one of them. Coming in at number 9, every question that comes out all the time seems to revolve around, when are we getting more stash space? Well, we're getting it. Kinda. Now, if you want more stash space, there's going to be an extra tab that's going to be available to you. Now, getting more stash space going forward is going to require you to play seasons. Not for very long, but enough to be able to get that next tab. And so if you want to get more stash space going forward, it's going to be important that you play seasons, else you're not going to be having access to that, which is what we all want and need. At number 8, we're going to follow up on the seasons topic, because if you don't traditionally play seasons, or you're going to sit this season out, but you still want that stash tab, then undoubtedly you'll want to get through it very quickly and go about your business. Now, there's several very good guides out there that have been produced, but one that's been updated over time and still holds mostly true is that of Riker's power leveling guide from 1 to 70 in seasons. So be sure and check that out. Or, if you want to wait a week or two to get in, then you can check out the video that I made based on the power leveling community. This is where a group of people get together and they will help you get to level 70. Undoubtedly, this will help you get to where you want to go if you want to get in and get out of seasons just for that stash tab. Also, if you do plan on playing seasons, there is a new seasonal rebirth option. What this is that it allows you to not delete a character if you don't have stash space, or you want to roll a character over from seasons to seasons. Now, the gear that is on that character and everything that goes with it will be sent to the mailbox of your non-season characters. So if you want to be able to keep track of a character over a long period of time and not delete a character every time you want to play seasons, this is now an available option going forward. At number 7, this simply is the one thing that we've probably all wanted, and we're finally, hopefully, getting it. Be prepared, because there are many skill changes, over 50 new legendaries, and several gear tweaks to set items. There's going to be more diversity than ever before with builds. If you've been skeptical over the last few patches that you're kind of pigeonholed into one build, don't be. With each class now having 4 6-piece set bonuses and several balances coming out, there's going to be more builds than ever. So this tip simply says, make sure and subscribe, because there's going to be several builds that will be coming out, and I will be covering as many as possible. For tip number 6, simply, you need to pay attention to a lot of the new changes, especially if you're on the PC version. Now, if you're on console, you're already familiar with the combat system. This allows you to chain together kills for bonus XP. This is important because there are several XP nerfs coming in the next patch to gems and gear. Also, with the combat system, breakable items will increase your movement speed. This is important if you're trying to get through rifts quickly, you're trying to beat the timer, or you're simply trying to get through regular rifts as quickly as possible. So making sure that you break things is kind of important now if you're looking for speed rifts or speed runs. Also, the new buff bar has been completely modified. If you're looking for those buffs, they're going to be in a nice, tidy area. And for those offhand buffs that you'll find, such as the community buffs, you will now find those at the top right of your screen. Other key elements is the fact that the key wardens and other important areas such as dungeons that require you to go into it during bounties will now have a marker on the map. No more running around aimlessly looking for these areas until an arrow comes up. They're already going to be there. And coming in at number 5, level up your legendary gems. Even the new ones that you're getting that are duplicates. Why? There's going to be a new Kanai's Cube recipe that allows you to augment your gear. And you're going to need legendary gems to do this. Not only do you need legendary gems, but you need to be able to level them up. There's going to be different level requirements for different gear slots. So if you want to get a jump on things, go ahead and start leveling those now. There's no need to wait. You can just go ahead and level them and have them ready once patch 2.4 goes live. Now, if you are patient, you can be rest assured that there is a way to get them up even quicker. Going into patch 2.4, there are now empowered rifts, which means you can spend a little bit of gold depending on the rift level, the greater rift level, and then turn that into an extra roll at the end. So instead of having 3 rolls to your legendary gem, you can now have 4, albeit if you clear that greater rift in time. So if you want to wait, collect these gems, and then power level them once the patch goes live, then you can sit on them, wait on them, and then empower the rifts going forward to be able to get to your destination even quicker to augment your gear. Now, this is a good opportunity for me to reference an old gold farming guide that I did several months ago that is still very much in play and probably the number one area that you can go and farm gold. Also, be on the lookout for a future video coming up on how to augment the gear if it's not already live by the time you're watching this. At number 4 could easily be my number 1 tip over all of the seasons and patches that I do. It's quite simple. Get involved with different community groups. Now, you can do this by getting to the communities tab, and there's several different ways you can do this, but if you're looking for wizard gear, simply join the wizard community. There's several groups that are in regular rifts that run 4 wizards at a time, and whatever gear they don't need, they'll gladly pass it off to you to be able to share gear. This is great considering there's so many new legendary items and more set items to be had. So the quickest way to get geared is simply run with other people that are looking for the same gear as you and share them amongst each other. It's the number 1 way to gear up, as well as doing quick bounty runs for Kanai's Cube crafting materials. There's so many different communities out there that it's almost senseless not to be involved in them. My number 3 tip is a very social one. Now, you're here watching this video, so you already know that this channel is mostly revolving around Diablo 3, and you'll find plenty of content. But there are several other sources. I've already referenced Ranker, but if you're looking for top quality Diablo content, it's really hard to pass him up. If you don't know him already, welcome to Diablo. Else you probably know him. Also, if you don't like watching videos and you want to see stuff firsthand, there are streamers out there that are a wealth of information that will be streaming over on Twitch TV. 2 top ones that you'll undoubtedly learn a lot from are Quinn69 and DatMods. So be sure and check it out either on YouTube or on Twitch. Or if you're the person that actually likes going to websites and seeing forums and other top posts, go to DiabloFans.com, which is one of the top resources of information for Diablo and Diablo 3 especially. My number 2 tip is a huge one. Now, you can get involved with loot sharing community groups, or you can simply start saving your legendary items or your crafting materials now. Don't just bypass them. You can use quite a few of those going forward to use a guide that I did during last patch for Kanai's Cube. Using Kanai's Cube to get the new legendary items is the quickest way possible to get items. With so many new legendary items, this is going to be a huge, huge way to get an advantage over everybody else the minute the patch goes live. Start saving your crafting materials now, check out the guide if you haven't already, and then be prepared to excel and get to the top of the leaderboards even quicker with that gear available, or to be able to just play with the new gear that you now have found and want to get excited about. And finally, my number 1 tip. Now, many of you might already know this, but through all of the patches, this is the number 1 comment that I receive in all of my videos, and I feel terrible when I hear it. Simply, hold on to all of your green set items so long as you have space. Green set items are the only items, mostly, in the game that get changed retroactively, meaning you don't have to farm up new ones. They'll be just fine going into the next patch and receive all of the changes. This does not work normally for regular legendary items. So even some of these offsets, especially when you start to look at some of the old 4-piece sets, they're now 6-piece bonuses, which means they're even more powerful. Also, the Legacy of Nightmares, which are the rings that have been useless up until now, have now received a huge buff and is opening the doors for several builds. Now, there's a lot of information out there regarding this, and there's going to be several builds going forward. Most of them are for fun, but there are some that will be at the top of the leaderboards. So hold on to those green items because those are the most important ones going from patch to patch. These get reworked. They now function the way that they should. And this is the number 1 thing that I see every patch, saying, I wish I would have held on to that, or I accidentally salvaged it. I wish I had it now. That's my number 1 tip. This is the number 1 thing that I could possibly say to a lot of people that are getting involved in Diablo. So that's it for my top 10 heading into patch 2.4 and season 5. Now, if you feel I left something off this list, or there's something that should be on this list that, should be higher, feel free and leave that in the comment below and be able to add to this list so everybody else can be fully prepared for the new patch. Now, if you like the video or you like the guides, feel free and hit the like button below because that is always appreciated. Also, again, be sure and subscribe if you're looking for more Diablo 3 and other gaming content because there's going to be a lot of it with this new patch. So, as always, I appreciate you guys watching. Till next time, happy hunting. See you again.